Hi, everyone. So as Jessica said, welcome to our social media webinar. I have to say, this is my first webinar, so I'm sorry if I screw up a few things. Before we start, I'm just going to play a little short video about New Brunswick Employer Support Services. We usually start every webinar with this video. It's just to put you in context of who we are and what we do and the services that we offer. So it's just like a minute long. All right, so that's just a little video that we share, again, before every presentations, just to put you a little bit in context for the New Brunswick Employer Support. So before I start, I am not a social media guru. It's just an interest that I have. I followed a course here at university a few months ago. And I thought that the information that they shared in that course was information that I think that all of our EAS should have. I've talked with a few EAS at conferences, presentations, and a few events here and there. And a lot of you guys had questions or concerns about either you're not connected on social medias, or you are, but you don't have time to look into it, or you're not really sure on how to proceed with it. So we're going to talk a little bit about today on key elements on how to have a successful social media plan. So we're going to start off with 4 key elements. These are key elements that every organization should think about before even looking into getting into social medias. And if you already are on social medias, but you are thinking of maybe changing your brands or updating your information, take a minute to put your team together and look at these key elements. So the 4 elements for every successful plan is goals, audience, channels, and frequency. So we're going to talk a little bit about more of them. So first of all, your goals. Your goals are probably your most important aspect of any social media strategy. And we're not just talking about setting goals just to have goals on a piece of paper. We're talking about goals that are smart. So when we say goals that are smart, we're talking about specific goals. So do I want to have, what is my social media page for? If I'm creating a Facebook page, what do I want to create it for? If it's to push people to my website, or is it to push people to know more about my services? Am I looking to double my page views on a weekly basis? So to set specific goals, set goals that are measurable. And I have to say, social medias are phenomenal when it comes to measuring goals. All platforms that I've worked with have amazing measurable data. They all have dashboards, and you can literally measure your demographics specifically. So when it comes to doing that for your goals, it's not an issue when you're using social media, because the creators have really thought about, okay, we're not just dealing with people that want personal accounts, we're also dealing with business owners, CEOs, HR professionals. So they know that we're trying to track everything that we're doing. Make sure that your goals are achievable. If you only had 5 likes in a year on your page, don't set a goal that's, okay, I want 5,000 likes by the end of the year. Make sure that these goals are achievable for your staff and for you. Make sure they're realistic and that they're set in a timely manner. So your next one is your audience. Who are you trying to reach by using social media platforms? Um, are you trying to reach journalists? Are you trying to reach government people? Are you looking to reach millenniums, Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z? Are you looking for a certain demographic and age? We always say that our clients are a working age group, an active working age group. Your audience makes a big difference when we're trying to choose our channels. So a lot of people will say, oh, well, I want to be on Facebook, I want to be on Instagram, and I want to be on Twitter, and I want to be on YouTube. Do you have to be there? Example, we are not, like, Embest is not live on Instagram. Why? Because they're not our target audience. The people that use Instagram aren't our target audience that we have. However, it might be your target audience. So before putting all the time and energy into certain platforms, make sure that you're looking at different age groups. Example, Facebook, we're talking about most of the generations. We're talking about millenniums and baby boomers. We're talking about parents. So if you guys deal a lot with younger clients and you're dealing a lot with clients that are going to school, then their parents are probably active on Facebook. So if you're trying to reach out to their parents to talk to them more about your services, then Facebook would be an amazing place for you to be. If you're trying to reach out to news outlets, journalists, people, or government officials, then Twitter is the perfect place. Twitter is an online news outlet, basically. So if you want to know what's happening, what's the new trends, what's the new programs or services that are available, it'll be picked up on Twitter. And Instagram, which is another of the platforms that are very popular, again, Instagram is a lot of the Generation X, the Generation Y, and the Generation Z. There are people that are more creative. You will have your baby boomers and millenniums still there, but the people that are more active on them are your younger generations. So think about, again, you're setting your goals, but think about your audience and think about the channels that corresponds to your audience. And the last key element is the frequency. Now, I know a lot of you guys, I've heard the comment, I don't have time for social medias. I have all these clients to deal with. I really don't have time. Technically, an active organization, so a business and an organization that's considered active on social medias, only post 1 to twice a week. I particularly don't like to post more than 2 times a week unless there's a big activity going on that we are live. So if you're thinking of, okay, this week I have a conference and we're live at a conference, then yeah, I can see that happening, that you're gonna post a lot. But other than that, to be considered active, 1 or 2 posts a week is fine. Tips and tricks about keeping yourself frequent, which is posting once or twice a week, is creating a social media calendar. I'm just gonna check the chat here because I see like it's kind of, oh, it's fine. Okay, perfect. So creating a social media calendar. And actually, this is something that I had started doing for myself, for Embest, and it changes constantly. So don't be afraid to start a calendar. And within a month, you're like, my calendar doesn't work for me anymore. I have to change it. So putting together a calendar, and you can do this individually or with your team that you're working with. Say, okay, I'm going to try to post twice a week, and I'm going to be posting on Tuesday afternoons, and I'm going to put on Thursday mornings, so that you guys know, okay, Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm posting something on social medias. And again, your calendar does not need to be fixed. You can change it how often you want. Another thing to think about is having a topic rotation. A topic rotation is, you're gonna set 4 topics aside. So let's say Example, it's a theme. So I'm going to have a theme about, okay, a theme would be New Brunswick Employer Support Services. And maybe on another topic would be hashtags. So I'm going to develop hashtags. So let's say Tech Tuesday would be my hashtag. Then we can say a video. So I want to have a topic of testimonials. And then my other topic could be maybe of new technologies, new assistive technologies that are out. So you just put that rotation and you go back to your calendar and you say, okay, so Tuesday I'm going to put topic number 1. Thursday I'm putting topic number 2. Next week you are back at topic number 3, and then you're back at topic number 4. The trick to having a topic rotation is to have less categories as possible. So don't put 10 different categories on your topic rotation. If you can stick with 4, it would be like your magic number to stick with. 5 would be fine as well. This helps you track content that you want to share on social medias. So if you're working as a team, which is the perfect way to attack the social medias, you can always say, look, we're going to start a folder on our network. Every time you guys find content regarding one of these topics, put them there. So you're building up a library. So like I'm finding all these videos that I potentially want to share on social medias, but I don't want to bombard my social medias all in one day. So put them in a library. And then when it comes to posting, you don't need to spend an hour thinking about what am I going to post today? What am I going to talk about? You just need to go into your library and say, oh, today I'm supposed to talk about assistive technology. So you can go into your topic rotation library and just, okay, oh, I didn't do this one yet. I'll post this one. So it just saves time and energy. And at the same time, like I've seen myself in the morning, I open my Facebook and I see an article and I jump on that article and that article brings me to another page and another page. And next thing you know, I've spent half an hour just researching stuff. And it's all stuff that I want to share, but I don't have time. So I'm just putting them in my library. And then when it comes to my social media posting day, then I just need to go back and get that content. And all my research has already been done. Another thing to think about when thinking about posting frequency is select your times carefully. And this always comes back to your audience as well. We always say to avoid Mondays and avoid Friday afternoons. And the reasons behind that is, and again, it always depends on your target audience. So Mondays, everyone is going to work. So they get to work, they've had the weekend, so they have to, like, this is their first day back to work. So they have to concentrate on getting their week ready. And most of them will not have time to log into their social medias unless this is a task that they do in their everyday job. And Friday afternoons, a lot of people tend to clock out. So it's either they're leaving early from work to go on vacation with kids or something. Certainly in the summer times, Friday afternoons, they're kind of a no-no. But then again, you need to think about your audience. If you are trying to connect with a mom, then you have to think of the times that she will open her Facebook. Is she opening her Facebooks at 5 o'clock when she's feeding the kids for supper? I highly doubt it. So you have to think of, okay, my perfect time to post for a mom is probably at 8 o'clock at night when she's done washing the kids and putting the kids to bed. If I'm thinking of a student that's going to school, then we all know that they are connected to their devices and that they don't go more than 1 foot away from their phones. So the first thing they do in the morning is check their phone. So if I'm trying to connect with students, then the first thing in the mornings is probably the perfect thing. So these are all key elements that you need to think of before creating your profiles or your footprints on the social media networks. So I'm going to ask Jessica to share a link with you guys in the chat. So it's a Survey Monkey, and basically I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to go through the questions that are on that Survey Monkey. And basically it's the exercise of putting goals, talking about your audience, selecting your channels, and a little bit about your frequency time. So just reflect a little bit on those key elements and try to put together on that Survey Monkey, um, your topics for those 4 key elements. Um, I will be looking at the Survey Monkeys once I'm and done the webinar, and I will be sending them back to you guys, so you can sit down and talk about these key elements with your team. And this will give you a chance to talk about where you want to bring your organization when it comes to the internet. What is going to be my footprint for my organization? So I see that Jessica sent it on the chat. So I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes, and I will be back in a few minutes. And if you have questions at the same time, feel free to send them in the chat, or you can put on your microphone as well, and I'll be more than happy to help. All right. So you guys didn't even have questions. You guys are obviously good at these. You guys are pros. Um so again, this is an exercise that I will be sending it to you guys by email after the webinar as well. And this is a good exercise that you guys should do. They're just four simple questions as you see. And it's to determine your goals, your audience, your channels, and your frequency. So I will send that information to you guys. And I had a question also from Monica of where do I find the ages that are associated with the different channels. And I will send all of that information to you guys once the webinar is done. There are great sites out there. And personally, one of my favorite uh, places to find out all of the social media trends. Some of you might laugh, but Pinterest is amazing when it comes to answering those questions as well. So yeah, so I will be sending that all of those questions to you guys. And if you have 10-15 minutes at the end of the day, or if you're having a staff meeting, I think those are really good topics that you should talk to your staff about. If you guys have a different age group in your staff as well, the different ideas on the different platforms, you'll be very surprised on what you can get. So I'm just going to ask two little questions that I'm kind of curious of what you guys have. So I'll put up a poll for you guys. So I'll just launch the poll right now. So I'm just curious to see how many of you guys have personal social media accounts, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, LinkedIn's, and then as well, how many of your organization have social media accounts? Perfect. So most of you guys so all of you guys do have personal accounts. So it's fun to see that you guys are already knowledgeable in it. I do see that one organization isn't on social media, but I'm sure that after this, you guys will be all set for this. So one last question that I'd like to ask is, how many of you are actually admins on your organization's Facebook page, or you are in control of your Instagram account, or whether it be Snapchat, Twitter, or LinkedIn? So obviously, I'm talking to the right people because most of you guys are. So there was an organization that wasn't on social media. So it's fun to see that I'm talking to the right people. I'm talking to the people that are in control of their social medias for their platforms. So that's awesome. It's awesome that you guys are already taking advantage of this free advertising media on the internet. You already have your footprint started. So when I'm talking about the key elements and looking into these three platforms that I'm about to talk to you guys, take everything into consideration. As in, again, I'm not a social media guru. This is just helpful tips that I've received that I thought that would be helpful to share for you guys. So if you're doing something that works for you right now, perfect. If this is something that can be added on to what you're doing and can help out a little bit more, then that's awesome. So again, like I said, I'll be talking to you guys. I picked three platforms that I was going to talk to you guys about. These are the three major platforms that have the most usage. So they have the most active users, whether it comes to personals or professionals. But if you have any questions regarding Snapchat is a very popular one as well. LinkedIn, YouTube, feel free to ask me about those one as well. Just because we're restricted on time a little bit, I figured we would just concentrate on the ones that have the most active users. So if we go into Facebook, um, we're gonna go a few little facts about Facebook. So Monica asked a question a while ago on where we find information about different age groups for different channels. Facebook, we had noticed that it's a lot of parents, but you'll find the millenniums as well. So this is just a little stat that I had found. So 54.8% of Facebook users are between the ages of 25 to 54. So if we look at the active working age group, 80% of them represent more than 50% of the Facebook users. So for you guys to be there for your clients, I think Facebook would probably be a really good channel for you guys. So when we're talking about, again, your Facebook page, it allows you guys to share information about your organization. I always say it's like a mini website because you guys get to post the basic information about your organizations, but it kind of just piques the curiosity of your clients just enough that then you can tell them to go if you want more information. Our website has all these amazing tools, and on average, a person spends between 18 to 20 minutes viewing their Facebook account. And I mean, like, a person could probably view their Facebook account 5 times a day. So they're probably spending almost an hour a day on their Facebook accounts. So when I say 18 to 20, I'm talking about 18 to 20 minutes every time they log into it. So even if your post isn't on the top of their newsfeed, don't worry, it'll be seen because they're spending the time on that Facebook page. And another fun thing that I found on Facebook, and I have to say, I only found that this week. I knew Facebook was accessible, but I didn't know to what extent. And this group actually started back in 2012. So I put the link here, and I will share the link with you guys by email as well. So the link that you see on the screen is Facebook Accessibility, and it's a group that was created by Facebook. And it shares all of the tools and the programs that have been integrated into Facebook throughout the years that help persons with disabilities access all the information on Facebook. And I've actually gone through the group and I've seen a few posts, and a lot of the stuff that they are sharing are very informational. I didn't research it completely from A to Z, but I think there was even a program in there that they have integrated into Facebook that if the picture has words, it will actually post the words for you, and you will be able to tell what the picture is. So that's a pretty cool feature that is probably very important to most of your clients. So if you have 5 minutes, go into this page and visit it because it has a lot of really good information. So next up is the why. Why should my organization be on Facebook? Facebook is there so that you could be discovered by people that are looking for similar organization as yours, that give out similar services as yours. You can show off your content, whether it's a webinar, like we post our webinar feeds on Facebook after we're done. Does your organization do blog posts? If so, it's a perfect place to share your blog post on Facebook. Photos, videos. Are you going to a conference? Post photos that you're there. If you have an event that's going on, post your event on Facebook. It's a perfect way to share all of this really pertinent information that your organization has. It's not just to share it with everyone, but what if your client, you haven't talked to your client in 2 weeks, they were on vacation somewhere, but they are always connected to social media. So they won't miss a beat of your organization if you're feeding the proper content. Shared content is also a cool feature about Facebook. You can share content, whether that your client has put up, or like, let's say a client has a testimonial that they posted on their walls about you guys, and you want to share with everyone else because that experience was just amazing. Then you can share that on your wall, and it will appear on your client's wall as well. So it's like a two-way street when it comes to sharing information with your clients and the other organizations that you do business with. Another really fun fact about Facebook is I mentioned a while ago about your goals, how they can be measurable. Um, Facebook, the page insights are amazing. They provide data to measure your page performance and your post engagement. So you can really dig around and find how specific a post has been performing. You know how many people are logging into that post, you know how many times it's been shared, if there's been comments, how many times it's been linked. You can even know how many people your post have reached. So I can go onto my page right now and go onto a specific post and say, oh, that post reached 800 people. So 800 people saw my post on their newsfeed. And as an organization, it is very important for us to be accountable on everything that we share. Um, if you see that this particular topic is being shared a lot, is being commented a lot, it's getting a lot of performance, then maybe it's a sign for you guys to say, this is a topic that my clients are really asking a lot of question about. So obviously it's a topic that's very important for them. Maybe I should do like a live feed on Facebook. So one of the fun things that Facebook came out with this year is their live feed. So I could be at a conference, go on my Facebook page and say, can you put a live video? So you can click their live video and basically do a short podcast from your conference that you're at and say, hey everyone, it's Melody. I'm at the EAS conference. And I just wanted to share with you guys in 5 minutes, we are going to hear about the advantages of hiring a persons with disabilities, and it's going to be by this so-and-so speaker. Stay tuned for more information. It's just a little quick and easy way to get people to stay tuned on your page. So I've seen myself wait from a business that was launching their grand opening, and they said, stay tuned for our grand opening announcement. I've checked that page 3 times in like an hour because they said stay tuned. So, and just a side note, it was a spa that's opening, so I was pretty excited. So these are all little tips on why you should be on Facebook. It is personally my favorite platform, but again, I'm in the Generation X, so I'm in that age group that is more active on Facebook. Um, so when I'm talking about page insights, for those of you that are not familiar with it, this is an example of a business page insight report. So when you go into your page, this is what you're going to see as a dashboard for your performance. So as you can see, and this is not one of our pages. This is just a page that I found on Google just to show you guys. But up top, you'll have your page likes. So it'll show you how many page likes you have in total and how many page likes you have received this week. And it'll tell you if you're up, if you're down, are you looking at average? So it's a great way to be able to measure the goals that you guys are setting for yourselves. You'll see how many at the bottom. They concentrate more on your post. So you can see how many times, how many people it has reached. So in yellow, it shows how many people you reached. So the blue and the purple under the engagement, it shows how many times your post has been clicked, how many times it's been liked, is there comments or is there shares? And one of the things that I didn't really put into our presentation today is paid boosts. And this is something that if you're interested in, please contact me. My information will be at the end of the presentation. If you have a little bit of money aside on your budget, and I'm talking about like $20 goes a long way. I've done boosts. I've boosted a few of our posts for $5, and it tripled my post performance. It's really not complicated, but again, if sponsored post boost is something that interests you, get in contact with me and I will go over it with you guys. Post boost just it gives you the chance to pick your demographic. So like personally, when I do a post reach, I say I want to reach all the employers on Facebook that are hiring. I want to reach all the employers in New Brunswick. I want to reach all the people with disabilities from this age group to this age group, and I want them all to be living in New Brunswick. And it's going to basically take your post and send it out to everyone on Facebook that has been linked to persons with disabilities, employers in New Brunswick, employers that are hiring. So it's a great way to make sure that your information is reaching the right people. So that's a little bit about the dashboard. I don't really want to go into detail too much about how to create your Facebook account because most of you guys already have them created. But again, you guys will get these slides at the end of the webinar. So you can go through them again if you don't have anything created already. So it's very simple to create your Facebook page. Basically, it's just your name, phone numbers, passwords. One of the things I have to mention is Facebook and Instagram are two platforms that you do need to have a personal account set up in order to have your professional page set up. So on your left, you'll see that's the home page of Facebook, and that's how you create your accounts. On your right of the screen, you'll see this is where you find your pages. So in the red screen that you see, that's where you go to set up your pages. So once you click on your page, it will give you the option of a green button here, where is create your page. So the information that should be on your page is obviously your organization name, a little blurb about the services that you guys provide, your hours of operation, your address, website, phone numbers, logos, photos that you guys use for branding, and generate emails of, I'm sure you guys all have an info@email. So this is just an email where your users can contact you if they don't really want to talk to you. It's just a simple question. Oh, I'm just going to email them. So a generic email is always good to have on a Facebook page as well. And a few tips and tricks that I've learned on Facebook when having a Facebook page is for a professional organization. Don't change your profile picture. Your profile picture is what your client recognizes you at on Facebook. So usually your profile picture for your page will be your logo. And this is something that, this is like, you see the Nike logo. I know it's the Nike logo. So your clients will recognize your logo, but if you constantly change it, they'll never know who is commenting on this post, who is sharing on this post. So try to keep it there as much as you can. You can always play with a variation of color, but keep your logo there. Your banner images, that's a different, it's a different scenario. Your banner images can be changed here and there. Don't change them every day, but a few times here and there, you can match it to this season that you're in. If you're having an upcoming event, the example, like I just thought of that yesterday when I was looking into this. When we have webinars, I could change my banner and say, look, we have a webinar about social media that's going on February 28th. And on March 7th, we have another webinar that it will be featuring C9B. So every time someone visits my Facebook page, they don't even need to go into my events to know what's going on. They'll see it right there on my banner image. So that's another little tip that's good for your Facebook. Make sure you have 2 admins. This is something that I've heard a lot of stories about. So if you have 2 admins, so that means you have 2 people that are able to post and edit and play around with your Facebook page. And the reason we say 2 is that, what if for some reason one of them leaves the organization and her information is not found anywhere? Facebook is like the Da Vinci Code when you're trying to crack it. You cannot crack Facebook. So you can't change the name of a page. You can't change the password if you are not that admin person. Example, I've heard about people passing. There are so many phantom accounts on Facebook because they're people that have passed away, but no one knows their password, so no one can go into their page and delete their page because they're no longer there. So if your organization has a page only with one admin, that person leaves, you can no longer put in another page with that same name. You will have to recreate a new page if you don't have that logging information. A cool feature about Facebook is you can prepare your post ahead of time. And I'll show you very quickly over here. So I'll share, this is the New Brunswick Employer Support Services Facebook page. And a cool thing about it is, okay, I'm away on vacation this week, but my clients are students, and I want to be able for them to see my post at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, but I don't want to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not an early bird. So I can go into my post and say, I'll take example today is, by the way, today is Jessica's birthday. So I'm going to say, I want to post, happy birthday. Sorry for the cat box here. Happy birthday, Jessica. So, but I don't want to post it right now because she's sitting right in front of me. So I can go down next to the publish button, select the drop down, and say, I want to schedule this one. So I want it to appear on the 28th because obviously it's her birthday, but I only want her to see it at 1:30. So I can put that there and say, okay, at 1:30 today. So scheduled post needs to be shared 10 minutes. Okay, so, and I could click, obviously I'm not going to click it because I don't want to embarrass her either, but you could just click the blue button and say schedule, and at 1:30, Jessica's post of happy birthday will appear. So I'm not physically there at 1:30, but I'm posting it, and I'm sharing it with everyone. So it's just a quick feature that Facebook has that is really good when you're either on vacation or you want to post something late at night or early in the morning, or even if, hey, I have half an hour Monday morning, I'm going to do all my social media today, and then I don't have to worry about it the rest of the week. I can do all my posts, then I can schedule it to come out Tuesday, and I'm going to schedule it to come out Thursday. And you don't have to worry about it the rest of the week. It's already done. It's already scheduled. It'll come out automatically. And again, the sponsored post is what I had mentioned a while ago. If you have a little money left over in your budget to boost some posts or even have a sponsored post, and again, $20 goes a long way when it comes to posts. So that's kind of what I had to share with you guys for Facebook. I noticed that I'm talking a lot on Facebook and I'm getting short on time. So we're going to go, I'm going to go into Instagram. Instagram's a very fun platform to be on. I am on it personally, but I am not on it as an organization. Instagram is a very visual expression. Oh, I just see now that I have a question in the Q&A about Facebook. Can you stop, so Monica's asking, can you stop people visiting your personal page, Facebook site, if they are on your company page? Technically, if you are as an admin, and you're posting on your company's page, you should be posting as your company and not yourself. And on your personal account, if your settings are set to private, then no one can even know that you're the admin posting on that account. And no one will even go on your Facebook page. So it's all into your privacy settings. But yes, you can stop people from going into your personal page with your organization's page. But again, if this is something, I can always send you some information about it as well. It's obviously something I kind of didn't cover the privacy settings, but it is the privacy settings on Facebook have been changed years after years, and they get more complicated and more complicated. But if you go into your privacy settings, make sure your personal profile is private, and that when you're posting on your organization page, make sure you're always posting as your organization and not yourself. But that's a really good question. So going back to Instagram, Instagram is a very visual platform. The Instagram platform is a lot of photos. So it's a very creative, very artistic place to be. It's a place people spend a lot of time on Instagram. It's all visual content. The audience on Instagram, I find, is more engaged than Facebook. Facebook people will just scroll up on their phone or on their laptops or computers and won't necessarily always like your post or take the time to share your post. I find on Instagram it's so much more easier just to click the little heart. I like that. Just share. It's more that's less time consuming, let's say, and it allows you to be a little bit more creative, and it kind of puts more of a personal feel to your organization where you can share more of the behind the scene things. So let's say you have a customer today that brought you cupcakes at work, and you want to share their talent on making cupcake. It's just a little way where you can add a little bit of feel good into your organization, and we're not always about talking about hiring people with disabilities. So we are personally not on Facebook because it is not our age group, but a lot of your clients are probably very active on Facebook. So again, it's something to look into it before you put all of your time into it. This is just kind of like a little funny thing on how to post on Facebook. It is simple as taking a picture, changing the changing the colors on your picture, and posting it. It's as simple as that. It takes no time. The time that you spend on Instagram, it's probably coming up with hashtags or what you're gonna say. I've seen myself spend 20 minutes on trying to find a perfect hashtag for my picture for myself. So very simple to use Instagram. People come to Instagram to get inspired and to discover things that they care about. So you're not gonna, the people that are gonna be following you on Instagram are gonna be people that are looking for information that you guys are working on. They're already into the cause. They're already interested in the services that you're providing. So your followers are 100% on board with what you are already posting. And I thought it was fun to see that, to share that there are 25 million business profiles on Instagram. And 60% of the users discover new products on Instagram. So I thought that was fun. So this is just like a detailed step-by-step how to create an Instagram business profile. And again, I will share these slides with you guys so you can go over with your team. But I know most of you guys probably already have one. A cool thing that Instagram came out with this year is you can now convert your profile to a business profile. Before, it was just personal profiles that they had, but now they offer the business profiles. And the cool thing about business profiles is, as you can see on the screen here that I'm sharing a picture of a phone, is that if I'm looking at a business, and I have a question and I want to call them, I just need to click on their contact information, and from my mobile, I can call that business from their Instagram account. I just want to know what time they're open today because it's a holiday and they haven't posted it if they were open on holidays. I can quickly just, I'll contact them, and it connects. I'm calling them. I can quickly ask them about the question that I have. And also your business profile lets you monitor and gauge all of your post performance. And that is something that a regular personal profile won't offer you, but your business profile will. So if you already are on Instagram, but you didn't know about this feature, it's very simple to switch over to business profile. So you just go into your setting icons in the upper right corner, and you scroll down to switch to business profile. I have to say, in order to do this, you do need to have a live Facebook page. Facebook has purchased the rights to Instagram, and it associates both of them. So it will link your business profile on Instagram to your profile page on Facebook. So that's a really cool feature that they came out with this year. If you have any questions regarding Instagram, so I see here that Monica is asking, so I'm assuming that you can have more than one account on Instagram. You can have more than one account on Instagram. The thing that I've noticed that is hard is like Facebook, you can have 10 different pages on Facebook, because I've seen people actually get hired to do the social medias of different businesses. So they can have their personal account and have 10 different pages and not need to log in and out every time. They could just select what page they want to work with. But on Instagram, you can have different, you can only have one personal one, and you had to log in and out before. Now, the cool feature that they've added now that you don't need to do that anymore is the business profiles. So now you're allowed to have personal more than one account, because you can have your personal and you can have all of the business profile pages that you have on Facebook. Before, you had to log in and out to make sure that you weren't posting as Melody on New Brunswick Employer Support Services page. So yes, now you can have multiple profiles. So that's a good feature. You can give out your password to other staff so they can post on your business account. So the people that will have access to your admins on Facebook will have access to your Instagram accounts with those passwords. Now, I haven't really looked into the privacy settings on Instagrams too much, because I really just found out about the business profile like this week, because I think it's fairly new. Now, you will have to go into your privacy settings to make sure that that person does not log in or does not have admin rights to your personal account, so that she's not posting all of these embarrassing photos of you on vacation, right? So that's an interesting factor that they came up with. I'm just going to go a little bit quick on Twitter. I only have about like 10 minutes left with you guys. Again, social media is something that I could talk about all day. It's a subject that I love to work with. I find it so interesting because there's new trends going on every week. So I have to say, Twitter is not one of my favorite social media spots as a personal account. As a business profile, I find it's very, it has its advantages when you're trying to reach out to the proper audience. So Twitter is a micro-blogging site. It's very effective when promoting services or having conversations with clients or other organizations. It's very useful in monitoring trends that are current interests of your clients. Example, when there's something big going on in the news, like an EAS conference is happening, I can open my Twitter account and say, I want to follow everyone that is hashtagging the EAS conference. So it's very easy to find news trends on a personal level, just to say how reporters are connected to Twitter. If there's something big happening in the courtrooms, news journalism tweet second per second what's going on. You can literally follow any major news trend on Twitter without missing a beat. The people search for niche segments on Twitter. So they're making your platform very resourceful to your target audience. So you're not going to have someone that knows that knows nothing about hiring and that is not willing to hire, they won't be following you on Twitter. So your audience will be faithful to you, and it will be your exact target audience that you are looking for. And one of the cool things about Twitter is I see it as a disadvantage most of the time, because not that it's a disadvantage, but it frustrates me that I have to always change my phrase. You can always post 100, you can only post 140 characters on Twitter. You can share websites all that you want. They don't count the website links as characters. But let's say that I cited someone, so I put a quote on Facebook, and I want to put it on Twitter as well, but it's more than 140 characters. So I see it as a disadvantage, frustrating advantage a lot of times, because I have to change, I have to simplify my feed. But I found that a lot of the people were saying, you know what, it's actually an advantage, because the attention spans of our clients are going down. The attention spans of the upcoming generations are even worse. So really, to limit them to read 140 characters are probably the perfect thing to do, because you are putting less information, they have to read less, and you'll get their attention right away. So as I'm saying here, Twitter has a standalone business profile, which is amazing, because unlike Facebook and Instagram, you don't need to have a personal account. You don't need to physically be there in order for your organization to be there. You can create a page that is simply your organization, and that you don't need to have admins that are associated to personal pages, which is a very fun fact. I've heard of people that didn't want to be on social medias because they didn't want to have to create their own personal pages. So obviously Twitter has taken this into consideration, and it's a really good job. And again, coming back to Twitter, is users come to Twitter to get and share the latest. And I mentioned this starting the information when I started the presentation. Twitter is a news online outlet. If you are launching a new program, a new service, Twitter is the perfect platform for you to share this. Journalism and the government will pick it up in a heartbeat. I've already mentioned all of why you should be on Twitter. Again, it's the same as it's adding a little humanization to your brand. It keeps your fingers on the pulse of the industry news. You're always kept on the what's going on. You're directly interacting with your audience. You're spreading your company news and your distribution content. And another fun fact about Twitter is you can always see what the other organizations that are offering the same services to you, what they're doing, and what their trends are going, and what your client trends are. So it's a really fun sharing tool. How to proceed with Twitter? I always say that this little cycle really narrows it down. So first you have to share interesting content, and you have to monitor that content. A thing about social media is if you don't react back within your 24 hours, you'll lose the importance of the feed that you just put on. So monitor, listen to what people are saying to what you are sharing, and react back to what they're saying. Ask questions to your followers to gain valuable insights and to show that you are listening to them. Example, you can ask, what kind of assistive technologies do you guys use? What kind of accommodations are employers using these days? And you'll be surprised on how many people will react back. Respond back with compliments. If people are posting either a negative or positive feedback to your organization, respond back to them. This is your chance to either fix or acknowledge their compliment. And follow the users who retweet your tweets. And this is kind of just like a rewarding thing. If I am following you, it's just nice that you follow me, babe. That you would follow. If I'm retweeting a lot of the things that you're tweeting, it's obviously because that person is interested in what you're doing, and they probably have the same interest as you. So if you follow them, you might see a lot of interesting feeds as well. And this is just a little few tips and tricks about Twitter. Just a few little things that can always help you. We were talking about the age groups a while ago. So the fastest growing demographic on Twitter is 55 to 56 years old. If you have hashtags on Twitter, your post will have twice more engagement performance. If you have images or images links, if you have less than 100 characters, again, we're talking about the attention span. It's going down and down and down. So I will be sharing these with you guys so you guys can review them as well. And just a few words of wisdom before I leave you guys. Anything that you will do on social medias, prepare and regularly maintain. I talked about having a calendar with rolling topics. Your calendar will change. You will constantly be working on your calendar. You will constantly be changing your topics. But preparing in advance will save you so much time. If you're not prepared in advance, I find you lose more time on social media than if you would prepare. Give it time. It needs time. Your Facebook will not change or gain likes overnight. You won't gain followers on Twitter, Instagram overnight. It takes time to have an impact. It takes time for your footprint to get successful on the medias. And learn from your mistakes. I know once you put something on, they always say once you put it on the internet, it's there for life. You can learn from your mistakes and constantly adjust by the best trends and practices that are out there. So those are probably 3 words that I would just say to everyone using social media. Prepare everything you put on them, give it time, and learn. Keep learning. Social media is always evolving. There's always new trends out there. And don't hesitate to ask your clients. If you're not really sure if you should be on certain platforms, ask your clients, what are you guys using? What's the best way to reach out to you guys? If they say Snapchat, hey, then maybe I should be on Snapchat. So don't hesitate to ask, and don't hesitate to find new trends. There's always something new happening on social medias. Like I said, I am more than happy to help you guys out, whether it's contacting me by email, phone. I can schedule Zoom meetings with you guys. I can help you guys with what you guys currently have on social medias, or I can help you set up accounts either on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn. If you want more information about platforms that I haven't covered today, please feel free to reach out to me. My information is there on the screen, and I will be more than happy to reach out to you guys. I know I kept you here a little longer than I promised, but if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them either in the chat or contact me directly once the webinar is done, and I will be more than happy to help you guys. So thanks again for joining us today, this morning. We will be sharing all the information that we had, and I appreciate you guys listening in. So this was my first webinar. Sorry if I talked a little bit too fast or I shared too much information. I will get better, I promise. So we have one question here. Oh, it's not a question, sorry, it was a comment. But thank you, Monica, thanks for your questions. Everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you out on social medias.